Welcome back, everybody. I'm Stan.
I'm Mard.
We're the basement, and I'm continuing my quest towards level 25 completion in Dr. Mario. I'm on level 23.
Yeah.
The game's paused. I kind of remember what it looked like. Alright. Whew!
I suppose next time we should pause after you've completed it.
Yeah, once I've cleaned out a little bit, probably would be a better.
Although, who knows? Maybe you'll finish it this time. This episode could be it.
It could be. The potential exists. Not likely, but it exists.
Yeah. It's there, just maybe. Yeah. Cosmic brownie.
Cosmic brownies are tasty.
I've always enjoyed snacky cakes, even though that some of them as you're eating them, you're just like, oh, why do I do this? Why am I eating this? Cosmic brownies are not one of those, just for the record. But there's some I get and I'm like, this is gonna taste so good. This doesn't taste so good. But yet I eat them again and again every so often.
I have a tendency to go through stages of really liking snacky cakes and very much not liking snacky cakes. There's no real rhyme or reason to that either. It's just the way it works out, I guess.
Yep. Soda's a big thing where I used to drink it constantly when I was younger. I went through the stage where I drank, like, I think Coke was the first one, and Dr. Pepper. Then I had the Wal-Mart phase where I had the Diet, or no, never mind, that was later. I had the, like, Dr. Thunder, or what was the Coke version?
I don't remember, but I know what you're talking about.
But I had those, and then I went through the Diet phase where I had the Diet Coke. And
I actually went through a phase of drinking diet soda as well. And enjoying it, which...
Yeah, now if I try it, it tastes awful, but back at the time I loved it. And then I had the Sunkist phase, which now I hate Sunkist because I drank it so much.
It's been a long time since I've drank any Sunkist anything, so...
Yeah. And I remember I used to drink grape soda too, and I like that, but now it's okay, I'll have it once in a while, but not a huge fan. So I went through a lot, and then also, I had a ramen noodle phase too, where I would eat those just like daily. And then I got sick of them, and now I never touch them. Which is probably the best. You can go through that phase in your life, then you're gonna be done with it.
I never really was, like, in a ramen noodle phase. I mean, not exactly. We would get these, like, soup in a cup things when I had my apartment downtown. And we would, that was what I would have, like, for lunch every single day.
Yeah.
And part of that was financially.
Yeah, they are.
That was what was viable.
Well, I never really had the soup in the cup as much as the packages of the noodles you break up and put in.
Yeah, no.
Which
it looks not looks, but it kind of like ramen in a way it works. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And I would always have the chicken flavor. The beef flavor seemed kind of weird to me, and I never even attempted the other ones. However, I learned that I made it a lot differently than they do up here. At least people I know make it up here. Where I would always microwave it, but I would have the cup, and then I'd drain the water afterwards. And I would always break them up before putting them in there. Up here, they don't break them up, leave them as... Oh, no. Maybe they still leave them as... I just discovered that you can leave them as long noodles, and that's so much easier, in my opinion, because you can just eat them a little more easily. But also leave the water in there, and it makes it more like a soup. That's just disgusting to me, but evidently people like that. I'm not a huge fan of soup, so I guess that probably plays into it as well.
Yeah. Right.
But just different styles of eating it. But going back to the soda, or pop as we called it down there. I will occasionally call it on occasion. Yeah, I just was redundant there. Anyhow, but with that, I started drinking water, and I had to force myself because it was. I very much craved soda, and it took me like a month before I actually weaned myself off of it. And then once I did, though, I started drinking water. And like I now, if I drink soda, I enjoy it. I still drink it on occasion, usually when I come over here. And that's, it's really nice. But at the same time, it's like I still need water to. I feel dehydrated if I don't, even though I was doing it for years and years, where I just drank soda all the time and no water at all to speak of.
I have pretty much moved back into my old habits, and I drink ridiculous amounts of soda now.
Yeah, well, it's not necessarily I didn't do it just to be healthy or anything like that.
Well, right, no,
I did it just because I wanted to try it. Like, I was getting kind of sick of it, and I think this is, well, good for me at least, where now I enjoy it just as a side, when I have it, I enjoy it a lot more than I did before, I think.
Sure. That's reasonable.
And I think that would probably work well for some things in my life, too. But it's
Oh, level 23 done.
we did it!
Move on to level 24.
But it's that point of you crave something, but when you get it, it doesn't satisfy as much as you'd want. Like, although that's happened with quite a few things. Drugs. Anyhow.
Ha ha! Mark, who knows nothing about drugs.
Get the heroin and the cocaine, and you got it with some baking soda and some chili powder. Don't really do that. I mean, don't really do any of the drugs in general, but if you do, don't mix them with baking goods, baking spices.
That was close.
That was close. But, don't do drugs. You can trust us, because we're doctors. Dr. Mario's. Did they ever have a Dr. Mario for the Wii? Like, they had just had the...
I think it was just the store.
Okay,
like
yeah, that's what I thought too. Did they have one for the Nintendo 64?
They sure did.
Okay.
I never played it, but they had it.
I never played it either. Well, as you can tell, based on the fact that I didn't know it existed. There are actually a lot of games I didn't have on Nintendo 64, even though I enjoyed it. Like you said at one point from one of our get-togethers that did not age well. And I kind of remember that too.
Yeah, the 64 did not. There's games, Mario 64 is still acceptable. Like your first party type stuff.
Yeah.
Still looks good. Well, looks okay.
I mean, they're still playable. They're not bad. It's just they don't look good at all.
Yeah, there's other games though that just. Ugh.
We played GoldenEye when we were doing that digging around episode with Guy and I. That does not look good at all. Looks quite atrocious. There'll probably be some people to argue that it does look okay, but nah.
I would enjoy. I enjoy GoldenEye, or I enjoyed GoldenEye extensively, I guess. I couldn't say if I still enjoy GoldenEye because I haven't played it in so friggin' long, but
Well, it's still fun to play. It looks terrible. And there are some games like that they have the resurgent now in like indie games that have 8-bit graphics or 16-bit graphics. I mean, 8-bit. Well, maybe. But I feel they work well. Like, I mean, that makes sense. It's kind of a nostalgia feel, but also it fits for what they're doing. Like, I get that, and I enjoy that too. But there were some games that did that, and they did not look half as good as they do now, trying to replicate it.
right.
I suppose it's like things like Stranger Things, where they try to get the 80s feel, but they don't. They do it better than some of the shows did at the time. Like they know what to use and when to use it. That sort.
I think that's the key is, like you say, what to use and when to use it.
Yeah, find a balance.
A lot of people don't necessarily understand that.
Yeah.
Like, in all aspects of the world.
It was funny that I know a lot of kids now are watching Stranger Things just because it's popular, but also because they like it. But I mean, they don't get half the references in it, which, given I don't get some of the references in it, and I was from just around that time frame. But it still fits and it works because it is enjoyable enough without those references.
It doesn't hinge on.
Yeah, that's the way I put it.
It doesn't hinge on those references. I haven't watched it.
Yeah,
I'm the weirdo that hasn't watched Stranger Things.
Well,
Not because I'm like boycotting it or anything. I just.
There are a lot of shows I have in my queue on Netflix to watch, and I probably will never see them because I just don't spend the time to watch them. I am very grateful though that I watched Always Sunny in Philadelphia because they're taking it off of Netflix in a couple weeks. So I got to see it before they removed it, and I just want to recommend that show because it is very much a bunch of bad people doing a bunch of bad things, and they have free reign to do it. Like they don't get, like they described it of, here, have fun with this premise, and everybody else is telling you, egging you on rather than trying to hold you back. They're basically saying that. That's great. But there are some shows like I remember. Like Married with Children, which in hindsight it was very much a sitcom, but not a sitcom. They tried not to be, but it really was.
Yeah.
And at the time, it was enjoyable. I liked it. And I still would watch it and like it. But then there are some that don't age well, and some that tried to be a little bit too serious. Like Married with Children was one that was not serious at all, but it fit at the time. Like, watching Full House is like, I remember liking it when I was younger, but watching it now, I mean, there's still a very large fan base for it, but it's very cheesy in my opinion, which it always was, I just didn't realize it at the time.
There was times, I'm gonna guess, I'll come clean, there was probably times that I had Full House on in the background.
Yeah.
But I don't ever remember watching it, like, intently.
By the way, beat to level 24, yeah.
Oh, alright, moving on to level 25.
Yeah, I most of the shows I had on, like Saved by the Bell and Home Improvement was one I actually did watch, but shows like that where they were on, and I would just, you couldn't help but see them at the time, because computers weren't a huge thing then, you could play video games, but...
I may have lost already. Just because of the parts that I got dropped.
You're saying there's a chance. Nice. You saved it. Double tap. Oh, this is edge of your seat material right here. Will he do it? Well, chicken is across the road. Find out next time on. Never mind. Yeah, you're fine. Yeah. I can clear out those reds horizontally.
Yeah. No, but I don't want to build up too much.
But for the sitcom thing, like, there were shows that I guess I take them more seriously now, or I take them just ridiculously. Like, if they're over the top, that's fine to a point. I guess I'm still kind of a snob in that regard. But that's why I never could really get into anime, because it's extremely over the top, and it just seems wrong to me. Even though I appreciate it for what it is, but I just can't enjoy it as much as I should.
That's reasonable.
And I've tried to watch a few. I just remember she tried to show me Bleach, and I watched the first episode, and was like, I don't remember exactly what it was, but like the boy drop kicked his dad because they got into an argument, and like they ended up just like nearly killing each other over something stupid. It's like, okay, that's, yeah. like back to Stranger Things, where you haven't seen it yet, but just in the first 45 seconds they explain it. Like, they give basic character development where they have an argument going on, like they're playing D&D, and they're talking about it, and it really, you kind of understand where all the kids are. Like, you know them somewhat by the end of that before the title appears. And just stuff like that is like, it's something you don't realize when it happens, but it's good character development. Well done. That's why, like, most sitcoms I enjoyed at the time, but in hindsight, it's like they pride themselves on not having character development. Like, it's really slow if it does happen.
Right.
And then also another tangent back to Always Sunny in Philadelphia, where those characters, they don't develop at all, and you always think that they will, but they are always just bad people. Which, funny side story is that Danny DeVito's on there, and he got brought on the second season, and
I didn't realize that he was brought on the second season. I thought he was always on the show.
The first season was okay, but it wasn't very good compared to the second season. Second season is where it really picked up and it got great. And the reason he came on there was he was a friend of the president of FX, or Fox, I'm not sure which one, but one of the higher ups. He was friends with Danny DeVito, and he said, "Hey, you want to come on the show and help him out? Because I think this show has potential." And he did, and he said he really enjoyed it. And he plays just a real jerk on there. Makes very horrible decisions, and he says he just has fun with it because he's a really nice guy in real life, so I've heard. And since he got on there, like, the show ratings improved, and they were going to cancel it after the first season if they tried this instead, and it panned out because it was basically just a bunch of guys. Well, the four of them. They made it on a shoestring budget. They shot the introduction for nothing. They just went around with a video camera in Philadelphia, video, recorded it.
That's always an interesting concept, I guess, to me. It's just like when people do stuff like that. Like just make it very simple. I'm a fan of practical effects.
Yeah.
I realize that sometimes it makes things a little bit cheesy, but I think there's a lot of things that can be done with practical effects that practical effects are far more likely to hold up.
Well, like watching one of the videos on Cinemassacre saying how the practical effects, like, there's a reason to have CGI effects. Like,
yeah.
For monetary reasons or just for something you can't physically do.
Yeah.
But when possible, it's always good to have physical effects because they hold up well, they look good in most parts, and they give a sense of realism. Like when you see a car flying through the air with CGI, like, it can look okay, but it can also pull you away from it completely. Like when you see it happening with physical effects, you know, it really happens, so it looks realistic. Yeah, I'm on the fence. Like, I like CGI effects in some things because they can mesh well, but there have been some movies where they're just fine. There's a horror movie I can think of called Dead Birds. Like, I was watching it, like, it had a good, neat premise of, you have to see it, but it was really, really well done up until, like, near the end, where they showed, like, demon creatures, and they looked awful. They just totally pulled you from the story, and they just did not hold up well. But there are multiple things I've seen like that where they probably think they look fine, but and there's some games like that too that they don't. Like Mario holds up really well because it's a style. Like, it's different. I mean, it was different even at the time, but, like, it held up well. You did it! One more to go.
Oh boy. Alright, well, when we come back, I'll be at level 25.
Right.
Thanks for watching this episode.
As you can see in his voice, he's winded.
Oh, I'm just getting stiff.
Yeah. He's all in. All right, well, try to push.
Sorry, I
it.
didn't mean to interrupt your conversation there.
No, that's fine. We'll carry it next time.
All right. Thanks, guys. Comment down below. Subscribe. Join the subscriber drive to 100. And we'll talk to you then. Later.
See ya.
Tropical Smash.
That's the one I enjoy. Put it in your mouth hole and see what it feels like.
Tell that to my wife all the time. She gets me slapped.